Welcome to, what is that, like Karate Kid? Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is The Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program, and Late Harvest Viognier. Viognier being a grape varietal that, Viognier being a grape varietal that is causing a lot of stir lately, becoming a very popular white wine of choice of many Americans and people throughout the world. Has always been a fairly strong play in Australia, the UK, many places like that. But they make some dessert wines, and when you get it a little late and the sugar levels get up, you get some sugar action, and you get some sweet wines. And I wanted to do sweet wines today because Mott's sweet, and my wife Lizzie's sweet, and the baby we have coming in 4 days, or at least the due date, is sweet, and everything's sweet. I'm a sweet kind of character. Let's read some sweet comments, shall we? Sweet. Marshall says, this guest didn't kick any knowledge. What gives? P.S. When is Darth Vader going to make an appearance? Marshall, great Darth Vader reference. We'll make that happen. Little side question today. Do you know what Darth Vader is? Number two, yeah, we had a nice little guest the other day, a little romance, relationship expert. That was a fun episode for me, Mott. Not that many comments, put up late. This one probably won't get that many either, because it's going to go very late. But we always don't have experts on. It's fun for me to kind of find people that are just getting into wine, just seeing how they react on the Thunder Show. So that's what gave Marshall. That's what gave. Grant says, yum, Cabernet Franc. Maybe it's time for another Cab Franc from Around the World episode. I agree. Question today, maybe time to start a pre-screening of what guests are going to ask. Ooh, Grant. Lawrence Leachman. Oh, awesome Vaniac. He's been with us through the grind, Mott. LL deserves a huge shout out. We go out for sushi usually, and this often involves a high-end cold sake. Kevin K says, sorry, I have to disagree with most of the comments. I didn't like the guest. He reminds me a lot of the guys I've met that think they are smarter than they actually are. Phony baloney. Hey, everybody has an opinion. I respect that. It is America. I've left Russia. Ma, can you flip that real quick? I was looking at an older episode. I've noticed that you're not as tight on me as you used to be. Did you notice that? Are you looking? I want people to see me. I'm a pretty looking guy. Mott. Thanks, Mott. That's good. All right. But I didn't notice that. It was kind of weird. I guess we'd probably shift through. What, you think I'm lying? You think I'm lying?
No. I haven't changed in 600 episodes.
But it's weird, man. You got to check. I'll show you which. I'm trying to.
Maybe it was Eric.
No, because I was in a good mood. Which reminds me, big shout out to Eric Kastner, who's been with us for 7 years, who absolutely positively, thank you, I was going to say this at the end, but why not? It's a great transition, who absolutely has a lot to do with Wine Library TV, and Eric is moving on and going to Etsy, a great internet company, and we wish him nothing but the best. He is a great dude, he is family, I love him with all my heart. Big shout out to Eric. All right. Mount Baker Vineyards, 2004, Late Harvest Viognier, 13% residual, 13.0 residual sugar, 36 bricks sugar at harvest, and 189 cases produced. And Mott, this is the most north vineyard in the world, in the U.S., outside of Hawaii and Alaska. What's that word?
The contiguous
U.S. $20 US. So that's a little fun fact for this wine. Little debate about Minnesota here a few minutes ago about that. 20 bones. So we're having a dessert episode. We haven't done a full-fledged dessert episode in ages, so it's fun to mix it up. Great golden color. Viognier, I think, is absolutely positively positioned to be one of the premier dessert wine grapes in the world. A lot of people use Semillon, Sauterne, for example, Sauvignon Blanc, Riesling, so you taste a lot of late harvest Rieslings, guys. But to me, Viognier has characteristics that are so, appealing when it comes to dessert wines, and I really want people to start testing them out and trying them. If you've never had one, which I'm going to say most of you have not, you need to do that. Sniffy sniff! Get a lemon peel component coming through right away. Almost like a rum raisin ice cream smell coming through. Some floral aspects as well, a little bit like white flowers. Let's give it a whirl. Good acid on the backdrop. On the back end, lots of orange peel on this wine. Almost like Grand Marnier action with the alcohol coming through. A little hot on the back end, but definitely has more acidic backbone. And I think a lot of times dessert wines are too cloying and too thick and too viscous and too syrupy. This wine is not, though, kinda. Make a little sense? Just over the Mendoza line that I have for my palate of being a tad too thick, but definitely a marmalade kind of orange peel little play. I like it. You know, I'm going to score this wine 89 points. I think it's an extremely well-made dessert wine. 20 bones is the right price point for a wine of this nature. Dessert wines are tough to score because they're all delicious. But this is a fairly strong effort, and I like it. I just a little too thick for me, and I have a feeling that I'm in the minority. I'm looking for a little bit more of that acid. I'm looking for it to be a little thinner. I have a feeling there's a lot of people, if you try this wine, that would go completely berserko for it. 189 cases. I don't even know how you find this stuff. Let's move on. This is going to have to be a good rinse job. These are kind of thick wines. It's got a similar coloring, Mott. Very dark, actually. What we have here is the 2005 J.C. Cellars Viognier Ripken Vineyard Cuvée Alexandria from Lodi. Ripken Vineyard, Mott. Maybe Cal. Did I ever tell you my theory that Cal Ripken might have done steroids? I have this weird theory. I know, everybody just got mad at me. I just have this weird thing, but actually, no. That was debunked. I had this crazy theory with my buddies. I always said it. Then I looked at his career stats because I thought he hit a lot more homers towards the end of his career. I knew he always hit a lot of homers, but I was kind of wrong, so I take that away. Erase. 24 US dollars, 87 points. Wine Spectator Jeff Cohn is the winemaker. 36 bricks at harvest, 18.5% residual sugar. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. This is even a little bit more darker. This has almost got a urine-like quality. I'm sorry, apologize. Little sniffy sniff. Definitely different on the nose. Get in here. This almost has like a maple syrup component. Smell this, Mott. This almost has like a put on top of your pancakes kind of thing going on. Yeah. Right? Oh, I really wish you guys just saw Mott's face because he was like, holy crap, yes, right?
It was.
Isn't that wild? It's really syrupy. Maple, little Vermont action just exploded in my nose. Little caramel, almost, I don't want to say marzipan. There's something else here too.
It smelled apricot too.
I agree with you. There's a little bit of an apricot. There's a little burnt wood action too. God, this smells so much like dessert. Let's give it a whirl. Tons of cinnamon. Holy crap. This wine has more cinnamon in it than I've ever tasted in a wine. This is like a cinnamon peach dessert cobbler with maple syrup on top, and it's downright delicious. Wine Spectator, 87 points. Maybe because it's not as viscous. I like the cleanness of this wine. It's a little more thin. In a lot of wines, that's a bad thing. To me, in dessert wines, it's a good thing. Little woody and barky on the back end as well. What do you think?
I really like it.
You do, right? It's kind of delicious.
It's kind of delicious.
You want to pound it together after the show? Really solid stuff. I think Spectator missed the boat on this. For my palate, again, I'm looking for something a little more thin, a little more clean, though it does lack acid. You're not tasting any acid. It's kind of fat, so it does have a little love handle action, but that's a good thing for me. I'm going to go 90 points on this wine. I just think it's delicious. I love the flavor profile. To me, I feel like I'm drinking breakfast. That makes me happy. Looking for eggs and toast and bacon, but I definitely got a portion of my breakfast in this wine. And though this has more acid than what I'm looking for, there's just something charming about this one. That's what it is. There's something charming. You like that? There's something charming about this wine, and that's why I like it. It's good stuff. And finally, this is the thinnest of the bunch. It's almost like sparkly. Maybe I should have started with this wine. So we're jumping back to the northwest. This is Nordum Cellars Ellerding Vineyard 2006 Late Harvest Viognier. A little sparkly action, as you can tell. It's pretty. Is that pretty, Mott? Are we making that pretty?
It's tough to get focus.
Got it. 26 US dollars. A little more Brisante on the action on this wine. Nice little bottle. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. 6% bricks at harvest, 14% residual sugar, 10% alcohol, lower alcohol from Columbia Valley. A little bit more of a champagne meets dessert wine on the nose. a little bit less exciting. Definitely the dullest of the bunch so far. Let's give it a whirl. Thin, again like this, but very different. This is definitely thin and not clean. This really seems like a slightly imaginary blend of 85% Moscato d'Asti and like 15% dessert wine, like a Sauterne. I'm kind of turned off by it. I mean, it's still delicious. It's sugar. I mean, it's not horrible. But it's not complex. It's definitely not as thought-provoking. It's not as complicated. It's not as fun. Mott?
It's a one-trick pony.
One-trick pony, Mott. I love it. That's exactly... Mott, you want to go? Want it? No. You good? Good call. It is a one-trick pony. Lizzie still has not called. We're still good. I'm going to score this wine 80 points. I think this is a major pass, a complete waste of 26 bucks. I thought both wines prior to it were considerably better and both less expensive. That pisses me off, wine. That pisses me off. And that's it. I'm not going to take it. Like, I'm upset about it. I'm clearing it out. Mainly because I think I want to turn this into an olive oil bottle. Pour this out. Other than that, things are good. Really trucking along, getting very excited. Thank you all so much. A lot of you on Twitter and email and in the comment section have been sending your well wishes. I'm getting very excited. I mean, we're getting to the nitty gritty. We're getting close. Man, the amount of times I said sweet and nitty in this episode. Question of the day. What is the best dessert wine that you've had in 2009? Don't bullcrap. And how awesome is Mott? You, with a little bit of me, we are changing the wine world.